Just last week, two AI companies reached out to me to invite me for an interview. The salary range was around $190,000 a year as a base salary, and on top of it, there was a huge amount of equity in a startup that will most likely IPO within the next 2 years. There is a huge potential in this space, and in this video I'm gonna give you a complete roadmap on how to become an AI developer. And at the end I'm gonna give you a list of interesting project ideas that you can start building. In a market where most tech companies struggle, where we have seen huge layoffs, where hiring is massively reduced, you see that there are AI startups who are raising hundreds of millions of dollars and massively hiring. There is a huge amount of money that is being poured into AI right now, and there are a lot of opportunities to grab. And they're not just opportunities at companies, we also see solo developers who build AI apps within a few weeks or months, like an AI PDF chat app, and they're making over $10,000 a month from that app. We're gonna go over all of this in this video, but first I want to clarify something very important because a lot of people get this wrong. An AI developer is not an AI researcher. It's not a machine learning engineer. It's different. An AI developer is fundamentally a full stack engineer who uses AI APIs to build cool stuff. That's basically what it is. And these days we have APIs for everything. If you want to generate text, story, poetry, marketing copy, you can use the GPT models. If you want to generate images, posters, artwork, you can use the Dolly API. If you want to generate voice, like ultra realistic voice, you can use the 11 Labs API. If you want to generate video, you can use the open source Stable Diffusion models through Replicate or Hugging Face. And then OpenAI has the Sora model, which they have announced recently. And then you even have models that can generate code for you. So basically any medium that you can imagine, there is an AI that can generate it for you. And as an AI developer, all these capabilities are just tools at your disposal. So now let's get into the roadmap. I want you guys to get into a level where you can build an app like this one. It's an AI PDF chat app. This app was built by one solo developer and is currently making $60,000 per month, which is a very good salary. And if, let's say, you're not interested in building your own business, you want to go for a company, the skill set that this guy possesses, the sole developer who built this app, he can go and work for any company that he wants and he's gonna get an amazing offer with an amazing salary. So those skills are very powerful. First though, before we start talking about AI, you need to get the prerequisites. You need to learn how to build a basic app without any AI. That's why you need to learn about HTML, which is the skeleton of your app. Then you need to learn about CSS, which is the styling, and it's what makes your app look pretty. Then you need to learn about JavaScript. This is what adds some dynamic elements to your app. After that, you're gonna learn about Next.js, and that's a JavaScript web framework that is super powerful. It's actually used by a lot of solo developers to build those AI projects that I was discussing. But also big companies use it. Companies like WhatsApp, like Netflix, like Apple. And this is also what I use at my company on a day-to-day basis. So it's a very powerful framework. After that, you're gonna need to learn some backend. So you're gonna learn Node.js, which is a JavaScript runtime. JavaScript can usually only be run on the browser, but using Node.js, you're able to run it on the server as well. It's very convenient. And the last thing here is the database. You're gonna learn PostgreSQL for that. Learning all of this is gonna take you between 3 months and 6 months, depending on how fast you are and especially how much time you're going to dedicate to this. A good resource that I recommend is Codecademy or Free Code Camp. Just pick either one of them, they're both good, but just stick with one. The second step is to learn the basics of AI. So you need to understand what are LLMs, how do they work, what are tokens, what is prompt engineering, how to optimize the output through prompts. This is something that a lot of developers overlook. They just want to jump into the APIs and start building projects quickly, but they don't get the basics right. And this means that they're going to reach a ceiling pretty fast and they're going to fall behind at some stage. But not you. You're different. You are a Codebender. So you will not fall behind. You're going to get the edge by learning about those fundamentals. I've made a short video about this that's going to teach you all the essentials of how an LLM works in just 10 minutes. I'm going to link in the description. I highly recommend you watch it. It's going to be very beneficial for you. I invite you to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more AI stuff like this and join the Codebender movement. The third step is to learn the AI APIs. This is my favorite part. This is when you're going to start building cool AI projects. You remember the APIs that we discussed earlier? This is when you're going to start using them. I recommend to start with the OpenAI GPT model. So it's just a text-to-text model. You give a text to the AI, it's going to give you a text back. Start with this, then move to the Dolly API. Dolly API is a text-to-image model. So you can request images to be generated and it's gonna be your first experience interacting with something other than text. Once you have done both of them, that's like the core OpenAI API, I recommend you go beyond OpenAI and look into Replicate and Hugging Face. You'll have models there with capabilities that OpenAI doesn't have and they can do very specific, interesting things. It's really a gold mine and not that many people are using them, so you can get the edge if you start using them. The fourth step, learn frameworks and tools to build powerful AI apps. And the main one here that I recommend is RAG. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, which is basically a process to take an outside knowledge base and add it to your AI on top of its own training dataset so that it can provide better results. It's basically what it is. I use this for a project I'm building. It's a children book AI generator where users can just describe a child and describe the story that they want, and then the AI is going to generate the text and all the images. Is going to create a full book for that child. So I'm using RAG to create higher quality outputs for the books. So what's happening behind the scenes is whenever a user writes a query, so for example, the user asks for a story about the little boy who goes on an adventure in the jungle. What the app is going to do behind the scenes is going to send this request to a database that have a database of books. Those books are stored as embeddings, which is a vector representation of the data. The request to the user is going to come, hit that database, and it's going to be compared to all of the books that are available. The book that has the closest representation to this query that the user has made is going to be extracted and is going to be added into the prompt. So in my case, if I want a children's book story about the boy going on an adventure, the best book about the boy going on an adventure is going to be fed into the prompt, and then all of this is going to be sent to OpenAI to generate the story for the book. So I'm going to get much higher quality outputs than if I was not doing this. It's just basically a much better prompt that I can build. To learn this, you'll need to learn LangChain, which is a powerful framework to build AI apps. Then you'll need to learn embeddings, and then you'll need to learn vector databases. And just to explain this concept very quickly to you, I'm going to come back to that example of my children book app. I had like a raw PDF file with a bunch of books. LangChain was used to break this down into small chunks and create embeddings from it. And embeddings are basically vector representations of that data, so that it's easier to store, it's easier to manipulate. And then I send all of this into a vector database. And a vector database is just a database that stores embeddings. That's all it is. Because regular databases like MySQL or PostgreSQL, they're not good to store embeddings. So a new type of database was invented specifically to store that data and to manipulate it and search through it. So that's basically what it is. This is a lot of information to learn, but in my opinion, if you want to make it easy on yourself, the best way to learn, the best way to digest all of that information is to just work on building projects. That's literally the best way. Instead of actually just spending days and weeks reading the theory, start work on projects, and when you hit roadblocks, that's the moment when you're gonna go into the theory, figure out exactly how to solve the problem that you have in front of you, and then move like this step by step. You hit the roadblock, you go find a solution, get yourself unstuck, go to the next step, and as soon as you're stuck, and you basically continue that cycle, and it's gonna really consolidate the knowledge in your brain, and it's gonna make all those concepts a lot more concrete for you. I promised at the beginning of the video that I'll give you a few project ideas, so here they are. Number one, I recommend the classical, which is building an AI chatbot. However, don't just build a boring chatbot with no personality. Take the personality of someone that you like, of someone that you want to chat with, like Elon Musk, Lex Friedman, Sam Altman, whoever it is, but just build a chatbot that is based on the personality. So you'll have to train it based on some data. This is a very good introduction AI project to build. Next project is an AI resume builder. So it's an app where a user can input basic information about them, and then the AI is going to generate an optimized resume with all the sections that it needs, with all the bullet points, all the right descriptions and everything. And you can also do a more advanced version where there is the possibility for a user to upload their current resume, and the AI is going to generate an improved version of it. Or you could also add a field where a user can input a link to their LinkedIn account, and based on that information you can directly generate an optimized resume for that user. And then the third idea is to build an app where you can upload screenshots of a website, and it's going to turn those screenshots into actual code. You're going to need to use the GPT Vision AI API for this. I will actually be making videos on this channel where I build those projects, so if you want to see them, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss them when they come out. While you're going through this roadmap, if you want extra help or if you want to join a community of people who are learning the same things as you and are building AI apps, I've created a private bootcamp where I have a lot of learning resources. And then we have this community group where we meet every week and I answer questions and help people build their apps. You can go on lastcodebender.com/bootcamp. I'm going to leave a link in the description and you can sign up if you're interested. I hope you enjoyed this video, Codebenders. Thank you for watching, and always remember, AI and code are just tools to help us reach our goals. Now, if you want to start your AI journey, watch this short video about how AI fundamentally works. I highly recommend you watch it because it's going to fundamentally change the way you view AI.